Good morning. Good morning again, everybody. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the 6th annual Rise and Shine with Boys and Girls Club breakfast. I also want to extend a special welcome to those joining us virtually this morning. We're grateful to have each of you here, either in person or virtually, that have made a commitment to join us today. My name is Kevin Hattery, and it is my honor and privilege to serve as your President and CEO for Boys and Girls Club of Greater Houston. The Boys and Girls Club are instrumental in changing the lives of tens of thousands of youth every year in our community, and you'll learn more about that today. However, before we begin the program portion, as some of you know, John Havard, Boys and Girls Club Greater Houston's former and long-serving president and CEO, sadly passed away earlier this month. John served as president and CEO for 33 years. He was an extraordinary individual that impacted countless lives, young and old alike. Personally, I believe we stand on the shoulders of those who came before us. And upon reflection, I cannot think of another example that embodies that statement more than what John did for Boys and Girls Club of Greater Houston. I also want to personally recognize anyone joining us today that served alongside John during his tenure. Thank you for allowing us to stand on your shoulders so that we can serve even more youth today. Please join me in a moment of silence in remembrance of John Havard. Thank you. If you'd like to leave a note or memory of John for his family, his wife, Sissy, and his daughter, Amy, there are cards located in the foyer. I encourage you to do that after this morning's program, and we'll be happy to send those on to the family. I'd also like to recognize any members of the board of directors in attendance today, either in person or virtually. Thank you for your service and dedication to tens of thousands of youth. Please stand so we can recognize you as well. Since 1952, Boys and Girls Club has expanded throughout Greater Houston to serve over 35,000 youth annually, ages 6 to 17, in our 23 clubs. Our mission has not changed. It's to inspire and enable all youth, especially those who need us the most, to realize their full potential as productive, responsible, and caring citizens. To achieve this mission, we open our doors to kids who need a safe place to go to after school to grow, to learn, and to succeed. Our concept is simple. When these youth attend a club for just $10 per school year, they receive access to computers and homework help from tutors. They spend time with caring mentors, eat a warm, nutritious meal, participate in physical activity with their peers, and most of all, they're in a safe environment. These clubs that we have are more than brick and mortar buildings. They are places that bring joy and hope to youth who truly need us the most. And at the core of creating this fun, safe place is our team members who are with the children and teenagers every single day. If you're a member of the staff of Boys and Girls Club of Greater Houston, please stand so that we can recognize all of you. Thank you. As we begin to focus on the next normal post-COVID, we remain committed to high-quality programming, our traditional pillars of academic success, healthy lifestyles, and character development. We also have a heightened focus on addressing learning loss, emotional well-being of our club members, and workforce and career readiness for our teens. Our staff and volunteers are committed to ensuring that every club member has a great future. I'd especially like to thank Kirkland and Ellis this morning for sponsoring this breakfast. Thank you to Sean Wheeler and his team, who is in the audience this morning, for all your help that you continue to support us. So Sean, will you please stand and be recognized on behalf of Kirkland and Ellis? And thank you to all who have supported us in the past, our new friends for being here today to learn more about this purpose and mission. If you'll turn your attention to the screens, please enjoy this video about the impact of Boys and Girls Club of Greater Houston makes on our community.
When I was growing up, I heard all about the Boys and Girls Club because it was founded in 1952, specifically by my grandfather and a gentleman named Eddie Skurlock. Started out just as the Variety Boys Club. I got involved because I wanted to continue the legacy that my grandfather had established here in Houston, and my dad as well. I thought, I want to give back and I want to continue this loving legacy that he created for the community.
From 1972 to 3 years ago, I find myself going to 1520 Airline, being a product of working at Boys and Girls Club. So that was my life for 34 years. Our former president, John Havard of Boys and Girls Club in 1982, took a chance on me. So not only did he make an impact, he made a difference in my life of Boys and Girls Club. He took me in as a mentor, and he took me in and he entrusted me as being a leader within the Boys and Girls Club organization.
What I love the most about Boys and Girls Club is it is about building good people. Not just good athletes, not just good students, but good people. And the fact that every child who participates in Boys and Girls Club has access to programming that makes them very well-rounded, that's probably what I get the most joy of.
Boys and Girls Club of Greater Houston helps fulfill, a huge need with our families. A lot of our families are working class families. They are coming they are single parent households or having to work multiple jobs. And so they rely on us to have their children there for the whole day. Without us, they would have nowhere to send their children.
My favorite thing about working with the Boys and Girls Club is definitely the environment, the fun environment. From coming in and communicating with my coworkers and talking with them, and then also engaging with the youth whenever we have events.
The Boys and Girls Club prepares the next generation to be leaders. I'm hoping that I have impacted a lot of the club members, and I know that I have run into some club members and have told me it is heartfelt to hear those stories from them, but then a lot too that I do think about and wonder, I wonder where they're at, and hoping that they're doing well.
It wasn't for Boys and Girls Club, I honestly don't know where my kids would be going after school.
The club fills a very big gap for you and your child to have this sense of security when you need someone to be there for your children.
Boys and Girls Club of Greater Houston provides an affordable yet safe place for our members to go to after school.
There's a lot of stuff at the Boys and Girls Club. It's really fun. There's pool, there's video games, there's sheet stuff, coloring, you can read, there's a lot of stuff to do.
Miss Diamond helps me with my homework with like fractions, multiplication, and area, perimeters, she helps me a lot.
Working here is really going to be a difference in me so that I can be better for my kids and then show them how excited I am about my job.
When I come to Boys and Girls Club, I feel more calmer and relaxed than I ever was in school, home, or anywhere else. I can be myself.
they have these little coding blocks, and it's just basic coding, but for kids. And by that, I'm learning a little bit by like coding in real life. I only know one script so far, a script to make something walk, but I usually know I can do it way faster with Scratch. I also made a game with it, and it's fully functional. It just needs a loading screen and just needs an ending screen.
One of the other things that Boys and Girls Club has done is to think about what the future needs are. This year, in 2022, we decided that we needed a DE&I committee at a board level. And what we will do as a DE&I committee, as a board committee, is to support our employees and to make sure that our employees have the programming they need to take care of the families.
I just want to say from my grandfather, George Strake Sr., my dad, George Strake Jr., who is still alive today and loving the clubs, that I am wishing the Boys and Girls Club a very happy 70th anniversary from my entire family.
Happy anniversary to the Boys and Girls Club. 70 years in the community of Houston is extraordinary, especially when you think of how much the city of Houston has grown. And so we need your help. We need your help because this organization is critical to the next generation of Houstonians. It's critical to our underserved communities. It's so critical to drive opportunity for such a diverse city.
And I always would tell my children, be as big as you can be. Go beyond, be greater, be bigger, be better. Just keep going, change the world. There's no limit to what you can do.
When I grow up, I want to be an architect and interior designer.
I want to be a software engineer.
I want to be a teacher. I want to be a soldier. I want to be a cosmetologist.
I want to be a firefighter.
I want to be a singer. I want to be a boxer. I want to be a cop.
I want to be a surgeon.
I want to be a teacher.
So happy birthday to Boys and Girls Club, and please support us. We need you for the next 70 years.
Thank you, and thank you all for being here today. My name is Austin Johnson, and I am Boys and Girls Club 2022 Youth of the Year. Today, I want to present to y'all a speech. This speech I have given several times, but I like to give it to a crowd of people just so they can understand my story and how the club has impacted me. So let me present to y'all my last year's speech for Youth of the Year. Howdy, hello, and welcome. Kind words such as those have ushered me through the doors at the Boys and Girls Club for nearly 12 years. And hearing those words every day has given me a true sense of belonging. As I began to feel accepted, the club grew onto me, attributing to many of the greatest memories I have during my time in adolescence. While every moment may not have been quite roses and butterflies, the club has been what I would say a true highlight and helped shape me into who I am. Now as I jump back to my elementary years, I begin to recall how the club has impacted me in some of my toughest moments. My parents began a path down two separate trails. My mother, brother, and I began to face many hardships. Seeing my mother break down every day and night after the divorce made me want to put my own emotions aside to comfort her. Although as time went on, my emotions were not the only major sacrifice we had faced. Many weeks, we would scrape by with change to afford my brother's medicines and doctor visits, all while having to give up quite a few dinners. During this time, I began to stray further from my friends and family, not knowing the damages I was feeling from this. I began fighting with kids and back-talking to teachers, not knowing how to handle my bottled emotions. But going to the club every single day, it allowed me to express my emotions in new ways that I did not know myself. Now as a senior, I look back at the programs I was involved with at the club. Working with people such as Mr. Toby, my mentor, has shaped me into who I am today. And he has given me so many new experiences. Roles such as the Keystone President has allowed me to shape my community through activities such as food banks and holiday events. This has allowed me to build connections with families who struggled like mine has in the past, all while gaining and building new connections and leadership skills. But also being part of programs such as Stay Smart, has allowed me and my friends to stay on the right path during our time in high school. Moments of kindness, patience, and lessons such as those led to developing myself into who I am today. Those kind staff who had made a difference in my heart turned my attention towards having an impact on teaching. I believe that if more attention were put into focusing on the public school system, the kids such as I would not have fallen into a loop. However, I was fortunate to have been a member of the club to guide me into a path of success. But why does this matter? Why is a child's future significant? Having an impact on tomorrow's generation raises new leaders and develops into a brighter future. I believe that if I can make an impact, it would be in the field of teaching, nurturing young, potential minds into adults prepared for the unforeseen future. But I look forward 50, 75, 100 years even. How can I change the lives of future kids just like me? Now, as I push out into the open world, I want to hold dear to me those moments the Boys and Girls Club has taught me along the way. Because those moments that has taught me into who I am allowed me to be the best version of myself. And now as I go out, I want to change the world, one step at a time. And now I want to tell y'all about where I'm at today. So I am now studying this fall at Texas A&M. And that... And I cannot express enough how much the Boys and Girls Club has helped me on the journey to get there. Without their scholarships, without the mentoring, without the technology they have given me, such as laptops, the skills such as confidence building, leadership skills, I wouldn't be there today. I wouldn't be there studying and being in class. I would be either working at a plant or operating a forklift somewhere. But instead, I'm able to go out and able to achieve something and really show what the Boys and Girls Club has put into me so I can be able to go out and put something back into the club later down in the future. Today, I come back and I still talk to my past mentors and my past leaders and just check in on how my past club is doing, because I believe that to shape the future, we also need to look back at our steps and to really look and see how we can improve from then. Thank y'all.
You don't want to follow that, do you? Really? Austin, thank you for sharing your story. So proud of you, who you are, but who you've become, and watching you evolve over this past year. It's been an amazing thing to watch. My name is Will Levin, and I'm board chair for the Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater Houston. None of our work would be possible without the time and commitment of the organization's volunteers, who are many. This morning, I'm proud to present this year's honoree of the Carol Freeman Volunteer Service Award. This award was created in 2020 in the heels of the pandemic to honor an individual for their outstanding dedication as a volunteer to Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater Houston. There are many, many volunteers, but the recipient of this year's Carol Freeman Volunteer Service Award is Mike Kuznar. Mike has been, let's give a hand to Mike. Mike has been a strong leader and supporter of the organization for more than 15 years, and I've had the pleasure of working with him every one of those years. Mike first started as a volunteer at the clubs before being recruited to join the board of directors by Joel's staff in 2008. And Joel, so happy to see you here tonight. I don't know where you are, but you're out there somewhere. There you are. Where am I? There I am. He served for several years as the chair of the Fort Bend Community Council and helped to grow our support and footprint in the Fort Bend area. Mike is still on the organization's board of directors and as well as serves on the executive committee. Mike has served prior as secretary for the board and is currently the co-chair of the board governance and nominating committee, where he's played a key role in bringing a group of diverse new board leaders in. He has served on every event committee, has helped bring in new donors and corporate partners on an annual and regular basis. As if that's not enough, Mike is also chair of the East Texas Council for Boys and Girls Clubs, which is a collaboration among Texas Boys and Girls Clubs organizations to provide engagement and feedback to Boys and Girls Clubs of America on strategic initiatives. Thank you so much to Mike for all your service to the Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater Houston, the Boys and Girls Clubs movement nationally. I'd now like to invite up a couple special guests to help me present this award to Mike. Paige, Thomas.
Good morning. My name is Thomas Kuznar, and I am the son of our honoree today, Mike Kuznar. I wanted to take this time to congratulate my dad on this Carol Freeman Volunteer Service Award. My dad has always made it a priority to put others first, and he's been an unbelievable role model to my sister and I growing up. Our whole family sees the passion that you have for spending quality time with others, and we truly appreciate all that you've done for the clubs in the Houston area. Congratulations, Dad, on earning this exceptional award, as we are all extremely proud of you.
Good morning. My name is Paige Hollick, and I am the daughter of our incredible honoree today, Mike Kuznar. I've had the privilege of coming to many Boys and Girls events, including this breakfast, for several years now, as I've watched my father grow, contribute, and volunteer with the clubs. His passion for the mission, the club kids, the board, and staff is unlike any other, and I admire him for that. His volunteerism goes much further than just his time directly in the clubs or in board meetings. As I've watched over the years, if he is not at the clubs or in a meeting for the clubs, he is spreading the word about the organization and conversation, praying over the clubs and club kids before meals, and even talking about how to further the partnerships within the clubs in our community. One thing my dad has instilled in our heads since we were young is share some, spend some, save some. This is something that has not just stuck with us, but a valuable tool he has shown improved us that he lives by. He shares so much of his time and passion for this organization, not just in dollars, but in love, volunteering, prayer, guiding, and growing with the board, and we are beyond proud. My dad is humble, hardworking, genuine, and puts 100% into everything he does. I'm certain that he would agree with me in saying that my mom has also been instrumental in supporting alongside him, attending all the events, supporting financially, and encouraging him to continue his support in time. From a nonprofit standpoint, as I come from Crime Stoppers of Houston, volunteers, board members, and donors play a significant role in the organization's success, and he can proudly check all three off of his list. I'm so happy that my dad chose the Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater Houston to get involved in over 15 years ago, and we look forward to his continuous support and growth within. Thank you, and congratulations, Dad, on this well-deserved Carol Freeman Volunteer Service Award. We love you.
Kids left for the best part. You're not going to give him the award? Come on back up. Come on back up. How do you beat that? Congratulations, Mike. Well deserved.
Wow, thank you. What a surprise. I quote a famous person when I say children are our greatest treasure. They are our future. Imagine a future with youth not living in fear, the threat of violence, while having access to academic success, and the youth operating with acts of service and kindness. Imagine 30,000 plus club kids influencing 3 to 5 other kids that influence 3 to 5 other kids on acts of service and kindness, and that's the opportunity that we have to have a community of 1 million youth that are operating with acts of kindness. Nice is easy. It's a smile. Kindness takes just a little bit of effort. It could take a lot of effort, but just a little bit of effort. We have an opportunity in Houston where there are hundreds of thousands of youth that need the services of the clubs, and we have an opportunity to make that happen. I'm humbled. For the record, I didn't have a vote, and I don't know how this happens. I don't know the process. But I do know that there are many people worthy of this award. So what I'd like to do for the couple minutes I have is turn the stage around and honor others. So to the club leadership team and the staff, you give your hearts to the kids. I honor you. To the board, to everyone actively serving on a committee to make a difference, rolling up your sleeves, it's my privilege to serve with you. I honor you. To the young professional organization and the community councils across various councils, thank you. I honor you. The Fort Bend Community Council, you're dear to my heart. The work you do is so important in creating awareness of the clubs and the programs and building connections to others. I'm thankful for you, all of you, and I honor you. So for the folks that introduced me to the clubs, John Havard, your soul rest in peace, an amazing man who gave his life to service. He embodied leadership. Thank you for the folks that got me originally connected to the clubs. I'm so honored that Joel's staff is here. Joel wouldn't want me acknowledging his name up here. I know that. Joel, his impact on the clubs over decades, along with his impact on me personally while he was chairman of Reliant and involved with the clubs, is immeasurable. Joel, I thank you. My family thanks you for who you are. To my family, my wife Lynette of 32 years, extraordinary mom, wife, grandma, our daughter Paige. She mentioned Crime Stoppers that does amazing work for the community. Our son-in-law Brandon, he's got a heart of gold. And our son, Thomas, who recently graduated from college, he had an amazing college career, and I look forward to what his future holds. I love all of you. I honor you. To all the volunteers and supporters of academic success, healthy lifestyles, good character and citizenship, workforce readiness, family engagement, I thank you. To the organizers and to the underwriters for today, I thank you. Austin, congrats on being Youth of the Year. And to everyone here, you had a choice of where to be today. I'm so thankful that you are here. Friends that are here that I haven't seen in a while, thank you so much for being here. You had a choice. I hope your day is filled with joy and acts of kindness, whether that's giving or receiving. I hope today we break a record in donations. You know, the future of kindness via 1 million youth in this city, it's possible. We can make that happen. So I'm filled with gratitude. I'm overflowing with appreciation and joy. I can only hope that, like, the depth of my sentiments show up and are reflected in my words in this brief time that I had on stage. You know, the same famous person that I quoted at the start, Nelson Mandela, also said, "No, the soul of a society is revealed by how we treat our youth." Let's reveal our soul. I'm grateful to all of you. Thank you. And God bless you.
Congratulations again, Mike, Lynette, Paige, Thomas. Thank you guys again for what you do. Please give them another round of applause. Well, good morning. My name is Zanae Campbell, and I'm the Vice President of Programs and Club Operations for Boys and Girls Club of Greater Houston. And I have the distinct pleasure now to introduce our keynote speaker this morning. Officer Josephine Jones was born in Sealy, Texas, and knew from a young age that she wanted to be a public servant. In 2006, she joined the Houston Police Department, and in 2021, Officer Jones became HPD's LGBTQ liaison. Jones says her job entails being available and being out there, noting that it is up to her to build trust through consistency. Officer Jones is a true leader in our community, working to bridge the divide between citizens and the police. She has been a dedicated volunteer and mentor to our young people in our clubs throughout Greater Houston, and we're so excited to hear from you this morning. Please join me in welcoming Officer Josephine Jones.
Thank you for the introduction, and I'm so grateful and honored to be here. How are you guys doing this morning? Everybody all right? You know, I was sitting here thinking I should have put some notes in this thing, I should have said something, but I want to speak to you from my heart. I believe that, you know, that's the way that I have been a successful 16-year officer. When I go out into the streets, I convey things from my heart, and I like to tell people honestly, you know, what they can expect from me. And when I get to stand here and talk about what it means to be a mentor at the Boys and Girls Club, first of all, I love the Boys and Girls Club. I love everything that I'm hearing here this morning. And when I get to tell people what I do as a mentor, it brings joy to me. So I really don't need many notes. The last time I was at an event with the Boys and Girls Club, I remember I had my executive director, Carvana Cloud, and my bosses there, and a young lady was asking me, you know, what did it mean for me to be a part of this establishment. And then I explained to her what I do with the Boys and Girls Club, and then embarrassingly enough, she asked me to do a dance with her in front of everyone. So when I'm sitting here thinking I was watch me whip, watch me nay-nay, watch me whip, watch me nay-nay. And it was so awesome because that's what you do as a mentor. You have to be available, you have to be ready to listen, and you have to have that heart of servitude. So when I go into the clubs, when I go into Moorfield, when I go into the certain clubs, I see myself in these kids. I see myself in them when I go into the gym. I see myself in them when I go into the arts room. I see myself in these kids when I go into the homework room, you know. Growing up and as a child, I wasn't afforded all the best things that I wanted. I was told on numerous occasions, you're ugly, get your ugly stuff out of here. You're not worthy. I grew up very shy. I grew up not feeling like I was gonna amount to anything. And I needed that mentor. I needed that mentor that could hold my head up and that could turn my thinking around to help me know that I am somebody. And so when I go into the Boys and Girls Club, I see that there are kids there that might not be wearing the latest Jordans, or might not be wearing the latest outfits. And you know, you have that kid in the corner that has their head down, that's shy. That's my job. That kid that wants a little extra to eat because they're hungry. I've gone to bed a number of times hungry. Can't wait to get to school in the morning to have some good breakfast. I don't know if any of you in this room can relate, but that's my truth. And so when I go into the Boys and Girls Club, the kids are our future, and it sounds very cliche. They are our future. But when I go into this club, I know that it's my job as a mentor, as a Houston police officer, you know, to be able to mentor these children, to let them know that they are somebody, to let them know that they do matter, and to let them know that they can aspire to obtain the dreams that they want. You know, when you watch this video, the kids were saying they want to be firefighter. I think we had one that said they want to be a police officer and teacher. We need that. We need those kids to have those dreams and those desires and aspirations to be the best that they can be. Despite the things that happened to me in my childhood, and I thank God for my mentors that I had, I am so blessed and fortunate to do something as simple as talk to a kid and talking to that kid and listening to their story and having that kid come back to me and telling me the outcome of something that happened. When I step into a room, most likely people are afraid. They're afraid of the police because of the things that they see on television or the things that they hear in their families or things that they learn. But I'm telling you, when I step into the YMCA, the first thing the kids do is they run to me. They run up to me. So I feel like I know I'm doing something right. I know that I'm being a part of the change that I want to see because they're not running from me. They're running up to me. They're saying, Officer Jones, you're back. You're back. This is a part of mentoring. You're building those relationships. I'm building that relationship. I'm being consistent with these children. I'm coming back. I'm talking to them. I'm listening to them. I'm helping them understand that they can be the best that they can be. So when they run into a room and they talk to me, they'll usually ask me the same questions about 5 or 6 times. What is this? What are you wearing? What do you have on? And I tell them, hey, don't touch it, but this is what I'm wearing and this is what I want you to understand. And then you always have one that says, my mama don't like the police. That's great. I want that conversation because guess what? That's the way we build communities and we build understanding in the community. Your mom doesn't like the police, but what do you feel about the police? How do you feel about the police? How do you feel about Officer Joe Jones that comes here and talks to you all the time? And I explain to them what we're there for. And you always have a new kid, and they'll say, what's the police doing here? Well, that's good. I want you to ask that question because I want you to know why we're here. We're here to mentor you. We're here to be your friends. We're here to talk to you and listen to you when nobody else will. And you would just be amazed how many kids will open up to the police that are not afraid of us, that understand us, and look forward to us being there. And I always know when I did a good job. I'm not the only mentor, so I can't take responsibility for the Houston Police Department, but I'm honored to be able to stand in this role. But I always know when I did a good job is when you're leaving and the kids will say, Officer Jones, are you coming back tomorrow? So that gives me reassurance to know that I'm doing something right. So I can't express the love and the gratitude that I have for the Boys and Girls Club enough because it's something that we need and we should always continue to have, these programs that we have in the Boys and Girls Club. It's so important because a Josephine Jones that grew up in Belleville, Texas, that needed that mentor, I know the importance of how these programs can benefit the lives of these children. We talk about they're our future, but you see these changes in these kids every day, every week. Every week they're getting stronger and stronger and better and better. And I just love that, and I'm so honored to be a part of that. About 2 weeks ago, just tell you a few little stories, because I have so many stories to tell you about these kids. They're beautiful. I have this little kid named Kenny. I don't know if some of y'all know Kenny from Moorfield. Anybody? Ashley, Miss Ashley. And let me just stop and say that these staff are phenomenal. They are phenomenal, and they truly love from their hearts. They truly are. And I appreciate that because I'm a police officer and I have patience. I try to exercise patience, but these staff have true patience and true love that is just, it shows overboard. But this little guy, Kenny, he is amazing. We have a lot of amazing kids. But this little kid, if you're having Officer Jones, because every day is not a good day for the adults and every day is not a good day for the kids. But if you're having a bad day, you can look at little Kenny. And this little kid who doesn't have the same that the other kids have, he would never know that. Because this kid gets out there and he works harder and he pushes harder and he fights harder than the other kids that have everything that they could possibly have. And so when I look at him, I want to give him encouragement, but in actuality, he's giving me encouragement. So I was playing football with this kid, and he just wanted to just throw the ball. He just wanted to throw the ball. And I'm thinking a few times, 1, 2, maybe 3, 4 times, throwing the football. I mean, he really got into it. He wanted to, I'm standing in this corner, we're throwing the football over here, and I'm with my sergeant, and I'm like, okay, how long Are we going to do this? How long is this going to go for? And then it was just in that moment, and as I'm thinking about, what I can say, it's just the truth. These kids really do build relationships with you, and they really do, appreciate you taking that time to just listen. They know when you're shooting from the heart and when you actually care. And so as I'm doing this, I'm telling my sergeant, like, come help me out because I'm pretty much tired now. I've done all I can do. And it's just amazing because he doesn't give up on himself. I would never give up on the kids at the Boys and Girls Club. And I would ask that you guys please do the same. Don't give up on these kids. They really, really and truly are our future. And we have a lot of greatness to go to build relationships with these kids in the community. I thank y'all for being here. And I thank y'all for allowing me the opportunity to be able to say a few words about the Boys and Girls Club. Thank you so much.
We had to look for some direction there, pardon me. Thank you, Officer Joe. When I stole my thunder, I was going to say you coming back tomorrow. So really appreciate the support and leadership that you provide to these kids in the clubs. And now it's time to ask for a different type of support. For you in the room today or watching virtually, the reason that I choose to invest in this organization, both time and my money, is I see several levels of direct impact that our services have on these kids. Some are immediate and can be seen when you step in one of our 23 clubs. You'll see the caring staff that many of us have referenced today, focused on character development. And it's as broad as, getting a kid to participate in a sport, to helping a child with schoolwork afterwards, to just making them feel safe and cared for. You'll see kids eating nutritious meals. You'll also see mentors, a lot of mentors investing in these kids' lives. Austin always does not let a day go by when he speaks about Mr. Toby. But equally important is the long-term impact. The opportunities for success that the Boys and Girls Clubs gives to each youth and teen.
Kids, just like me, who will go on to achieve success because the guidance and encouragement we receive at the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Houston. By investing in an organization like this, you are truly investing in kids like me and in Greater Houston's future.
Now the hammer comes. You can help us contribute to our critical work for kids who need us the most. Just a word about that. We've referenced Zanae and her team on the program side. One of the things when I started as chair, I really emphasized is, what do we know? We know that when we get kids in the clubs, on average once a week, outcomes improve dramatically, real-life outcomes. They're more likely to graduate high school, more likely to attend college. Just as importantly, they're more likely to stay out of trouble with Officer Joe and the police. There are options for you to consider. There's a form like this sitting out. I'm going to fill mine out in real time here. So there's $5,000 or $400 a month for a year. It provides 25 club members help with college prep, including applying to college as well as workforce development. This really is, to Mike's point earlier, this is the future. If we can get more of these kids into college, into trade school, having opportunities to earn a living and be part of the solution to our city, that's our great opportunity. We're the most diverse major city in the country. Let's keep it that way. This preparation, most likely the key to them getting into college is securing a great job that guarantees success in their future. How many people in this room are the first person in their family to graduate from a four-year college? It's amazing, really, right? So this is your chance right here. That's what I'm going to fill out just in a moment. $2,500 or about $200 a month for a year. Provides members with 1 month of programming on topics such as STEM, the arts, literature, fitness, and many other things. These programs not only give our kids the chance to learn, but also teach them the importance of teamwork, leadership, and responsibility. Most importantly, from my perspective, these programs keep kids off the streets and in a safe place. $1,500, or about $125 a month, covers all the costs associated with one child participating in Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater Houston's daily programming for 1 year. Remember, these kids' families, they pay $10 a year. $10 a year, so it doesn't quite cover things, but with your help, hopefully we'll get there. $500 provides background checks, training, and orientation for 25 youth development professionals. These professionals are tutors who help club members with homework, mentors who work with club members on character building and responsibility, and coaches who coach our sports teams weekly. We see our kids' attitudes and grades improve, and with this, they develop confidence. With this confidence, they then become leaders who will someday heckle you for money at an event just like this. Lastly, $250, or about $20 a month. It allows 10 club members to go on 5 field trips to places such as the Children's Museum, NASA, other people's workplaces. Many of our club members have never traveled across their city, or maybe even outside of a mile of their home. These field trips open their eyes to all that is out there in the greater Houston area, and this is a terrific place. Please join me in making a gift to Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater Houston by filling out the donation card in front of you. You can return the cards to the envelope on your table or to one of the staff members at each exit. Please also let us know on the card if you would be interested in getting more involved with the organization. We need your help. We'd love your involvement. We're changing lives in this city because of your support and concern for Greater Houston's most vulnerable youth. Thank you for making a difference. And before I hand it over to Austin, I want to just acknowledge Zanae and her groups on the program side. During recovery from a pandemic, when many in the national organization thought that we couldn't drive our attendance is up nearly 50% from the lows. We've already were on the verge of hitting the targets that I kind of set aggressively, and so we're going to have to raise those targets, and the onus is on us. Let's raise enough money where when we need to expand these clubs, let's do it. So thank you for your time, and I'll turn it over to Austin once again. Thank you again.
Thank you, Will. As you head up this morning, please remember my story, the impact the club has had on me, and the thousands of other Boys and Girls Club members with similar stories of overcoming adversity and defeating challenges. We thank you for attending today and for your support of Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater Houston. Thanks, and gig 'em.